The Lost Cryptids Conservatory, where we will shatter your reality to bring you closer to the truth.
All right, guys, welcome back to another live show. Just want to make sure you guys can hear me all right. So we're just going to be hanging out and stuff, celebrating 4th of July and stuff. I probably don't figure too many people to get on and stuff, being obviously most people are going to be celebrating tonight, but I figured we'd be hanging out and stuff. You know, it's Saturday night, and yeah, I might as well have some fun. So actually going to talk about a few things, and got my little partner here joining me, so you might hear him squeaking about. And I might have to stop and service him, of course, if he needs something to drink or whatever. But so yeah, we're hanging out and stuff and having fun, of course, and hopefully everyone's having fun on their nice 4th of July weekend. Let me put the link in the chat for you guys. If someone wants to come on hang out, talk Sasquatch, cryptids, whatever. A little bit of what I've been studying and researching lately is missing people, looking to do the missing 411 stuff, all the disappearances, very odd and strange disappearances, and the you know, just how many people actually go missing here in Michigan and beyond, but just how many people are not found, regardless if they fit the missing 411 criteria. There's a lot of missing people that have never been found under odd circumstances that should be able to be found if you get lost in a wilderness type area, um, especially here in Michigan, even in the Upper Peninsula. Um, it's not like super rugged like in the Alaskan frontier where there's absolutely no infrastructure, but you can go a couple miles and hit a road, or a couple miles hit a cabin, or some type of civilization. So people should be able to be found and walk out of a certain situation if they can. So it's just very odd and strikes me as very very weird and stuff. I've been reading some of these stories, and some of these people are very very proficient and be able to survive out in the backcountry, and they're still going missing and all that, and still seemingly getting lost. So it is just odd. It just strikes me as weird and stuff because some of these people, especially in the places, some of these places here in Michigan, Lower Michigan, not even the Upper Peninsula. Even if you're in the northern wilderness of northern Michigan, we have a lot of national forest land, a couple million acres of national forest land. Even though it's super dense in some places, you can still walk out. That's my boy making Sasquatch noises, so you might hear him chime in every once in a while. But yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird how some of these people go missing, and a lot of it's near swamps and bodies of water, of course. But what I have been gathering and stuff is search and rescue. Honestly, helps only for a little bit, and then after if you go into a deep tangled swamp and these people who are searching for you, if they're not able to traverse that landscape effectively enough, they will call off the search, and which postpones any kind of evidence that they would be able to find, especially if they are on the heels of following someone and they were close behind and actually were following, say, let's say, tracks and stuff. Once they abandon the search and stuff, the likelihood that they're going to come upon that same set of tracks and evidence and be on the heels of that person is very slim to none. Yeah. Yeah, you reached me. It is funny and stuff. Is I actually have recorded him making sounds and stuff, and baby crying and stuff. He's was a great source for all that and stuff. So I actually do have some of that. I've actually never used it out in the woods though. I don't know. When you're making calls and stuff, you make these calls to attract animals and stuff, and I don't know, making a baby crying in the woods and then having me be found is probably not the best sort of thing I think I would want a Sasquatch to come across. So I have not played any of his baby crying recordings I have, or even tantrums and stuff, being he's 3 now, but terrible twos and stuff. So I actually do have some of that, but never did use it and stuff. So nah, he's my Lost Cryptids only premium MVP, future MVP. So no, he got a lot to learn and stuff before he can go out traveling and stuff. But yeah, he's gonna be out in the woods and stuff, of course, with me. But yeah. He's a good boy and stuff. He's actually kind of sick right now, so he's actually just recovering. So he's hanging out, being a good boy, of course. So, um, yeah. A lot of these missing people, especially the 401 cases here in Michigan, it's always next to swamps or in swamps or next to bodies of water, which Michigan has bodies of water every 4 miles, so that's really not much. But there's a lot of missing aircraft, missing boats and stuff, which is very odd. U.S. aircraft during the 50s, U.S. aircraft going after some blips on radar, on Canadian radar, U.S. radars going uh, over to Lake Superior in international waters, basically in the water line of the two countries, and disappearing forever off the radar, never to be seen again. No wreckage or anything like that. A lot of there's actually a whole jet filled with dozens of passengers that just completely vanished, went missing, right off the western coast of Lower Michigan, off of Lake Michigan, and should not have been lost. Should have been found easily, especially if it wrecked on land. Um, from what I've been studying here in Michigan, it seems like every couple of years there's people that go missing. It fit this criteria in different places. Could be every. Usually there's a gap in time, but sometimes it's like every 2 years there'll be a couple missing, and then it might be a 20-year gap, or it might be a couple less than that or more. There's some places that it's like every 5 years, or maybe twice every decade in that spot of people going missing, never to be found again, or found under odd circumstances. So yeah, there's definitely some body counts for sure. There's two clusters here in Michigan. There's one in Lower Michigan in the Manistee National Forest region. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of people that live in this region that live there every day. Their children are outside playing every single day. That nothing happens. It's just every couple of years there's one or two or three odd disappearances under pretty some weird circumstances, and it fits this criteria, and it's happening enough that it's pretty regularly and stuff. So these clusters and stuff, the ones up in the UP especially, are probably one of the most deadliest and dangerous, or highest concentration that he has of missing people. He even alludes to it himself, David Politis. So it's pretty odd and stuff. We've been in some of these areas and stuff too, and it's pretty gnarly and stuff. But just been thinking about it and working on it and stuff a little bit, and because we go to some of these areas, and we just wonder what's causing it, what's going on, and if we're out there and stuff, we come across the remains of someone. We have to switch gears and turn our efforts to that, and so I've been kind of studying and looking into if there's any missing people in the particular areas that we're going in and stuff like that, and knowing what they potentially are wearing and what kind of stuff they had. So because there's other things out there in the woods besides Sasquatch. There's odd, strange lights that we have encountered. If you guys watched the latest video, well, you can't really see much evidence. You can hear our reaction to what we are seeing and experiencing. My girlfriend especially experienced, and she says she got grabbed. She freaks out. It's pretty. I mean, it's It's on the audio you guys can listen to, of course. So while I'm staring at this big giant light in the tree line and stuff, I'm kind of focused on that, and I kind of feel bad that I didn't really pay much attention to her and stuff. But that was all caught before we had. I bought the night vision camera, so now we have the night vision camera, and if we had the night vision camera, we would have caught the lights that we were seeing across the field easily, no problem. And when we first walked into the field, when she had seen the entity crawling, if I had the night vision and was filming there, we potentially would have caught it for sure. So, but yeah, so she got touched, got freaked out. I don't know. She's very adamant that someone grabbed her pretty firmly. So, and we're trying to film these lights. We filmed in orbs and stuff like that, but we don't know what's going out there. I tend to think that Sasquatch is like, it's always my top priority. It's always on my radar, but I always kind of get reminded in these certain situations that there's other things out there and people experience them. Now, I really don't do the ghost stuff and all that, but my girlfriend says she got grabbed by something that she can't see and I can't see because I was basically staring right at her. She was in front of me walking while I'm looking at the light, trying to film the light. So there's nothing there to grab her. I didn't hear nothing. There wasn't, So I don't know. Does that mean a ghost? Does that just mean some other outside force entity? It could be a ghost. That's what my boy says, a ghost. She was freaked out and stuff, so she was clearly freaked out, but calmed each other down and stuff a little bit, and kept out there. We stayed in that spot for a little bit, and then moved on. But when you're out in these woods and stuff, you have to remember that, especially in these wild places where people don't live. We're not out there 24/7 every single day and night throughout all the hours. There's a lot of things we don't know, and there's probably things that besides Sasquatch that lurk throughout the landscape. These other cryptids, and any one of them, including Sasquatch, could make you go missing. Could do whatever they want to you, basically. It's pretty much just nature. It's nothing nefarious, I think. It's just, animals would do it to you. Alligator down in Florida would be chomping on you, and even a deer, male deer with antlers, can gore you to death and kick you. So, Sasquatches, why wouldn't they take people? I'm surprised there's not more attacks, or you hear about things, because you would think that they would have so much more interaction with people, that this would happen fairly more often. But maybe the fact that it doesn't, either it's covered up, or as a whole, the species pretty much doesn't really go to that at first. They don't attack people to their go-to strategy most of the time in Michigan, from what I hear and have found out. They tend to do other things first, but there are a lot of reports of aggressive behavior that you might not consider aggressive behavior. Rock throwing would be considered aggressive behavior, even if it's small pebbles, because they are throwing something at you that could potentially hit you, and it is not something it's a weapon being thrown at you point blank, right? So any type of window peeking and stuff by a Sasquatch, if humans do it, the statistics and studies say that if kids do it and stuff, you develop into some pretty bad habits and become probably a criminal rapist and stuff. A lot of rapists start out by being window peepers and stuff. So in human terms, that would be a very bad aggressive type of thing. There's data stuff to suggest that Sasquatches, of course, are eyeballing women all the time and children and stuff, right? And getting very close and watching kids, right? Well, I mean, if you don't like strangers watching your kids, you wouldn't tolerate a stranger creeping up on your kids or your family, looking at you and stuff in your backyard. But yet, when a Sasquatch does it, it's not taken as aggressive or nefarious. But if a human approaches a Sasquatch's family or young ones, they have a reaction, which is they believe that you are nefarious and pretty much intended to protect their kids. So potentially that Sasquatch is observing women and children is nefarious and aggressive behavior, and it's not tolerated in our human culture. They certainly don't tolerate it. Of course, you hear about them kidnapping and kidnapping women and children and stuff. The natives have always talked about it. There's records of it. You guys can find stuff in the old newspapers. It did happen. It happened. You can find a lot of stories from the 1950s. If you guys actually look, there's a lot of stories from the 1900s, early 1900s, all the way to the 1950s, of these wild men attacking farmers. Especially a lot of farmers had conflict with these creatures, and there are actual reports here in Michigan of people being almost being kidnapped. They were grabbed underneath, like you would grab just a toddler underneath the waist and stuff, and Sasquatch held two people and dropped them in a kidnapping attempt and stuff. That was here in Michigan, and it was reported. A lot of Michigan data is not that. A lot of Michigan data, Val Zavala, the gumshoe guy, he spent last 10 years reading sighting after sighting and reports and getting reports and meeting with people, and he has compiled the biggest database in Michigan. And he's also working on North America, but Michigan, he has over 1,900 and it's almost approaching 1,950 sightings and reports in Michigan. And going all the way back to I believe it was 1640 something or 1660 something, very early, one of the earliest, in fact, of a report in Michigan. But all the way to the present time. But in that reports, there's 1,900 and stuff. You won't find that number anywhere else. You won't find it in the BFRO. And his number puts Michigan at a much higher category than a lot of other states. But anyways, there's a lot of unknown. There's a lot of sightings in a lot of states that are not known to the public or shown to the public. And the BFRO has a bunch of reports that they never even put to the public. A back catalog of thousands and thousands. I mean, we're talking like 50,000 plus reports at least. And so he's been gathering a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff that he's gathered and reported shows a little bit more aggressive, violent side to Sasquatch than what the TV narrative is, that they're friendly forest hippie. They just want to be left alone. But what his data finding is, if they want to be left alone, why do they keep coming and window peeping at people's houses? Why do they keep dumpster diving in next to suburbs? Why are they on the outskirts of cities? If they want to be left alone, why do they interact with people? And there's highly aggressive things that have taken place in the last 100 years. In each state, I'm sure you could find this if you look back at old stories and farmers talking about how they the Sasquatches would get mad at the farmers for doing whatever, and would slaughtered all their chickens, and all their chickens would be ripped up and dead, but none of them would be eaten. None of them were stolen. They were just all ripped up, or there'd be fence posts broken. There would be machinery and stuff tossed about. There's different reports of them slapping houses and stuff, of course, but breaking and killing of pets and throwing things in trees and stuff like that. It's another hallmark of them, is putting stuff in trees. And Val, giving him credit, he calls them trophies and stuff. So they put trophies and stuff in trees to as a warning, as a show of power, of a bunch of things, and they could be anything from rocks and stuff. A lot of, he actually has some good pictures. If you guys go to his Facebook group, Michigan Bigfoot Data and Reports, Gumshoe Guy's Corner, you will find a lot of evidence that you guys won't find anywhere else. Okay, I guarantee you guys, pictures that you will not find anywhere else. Okay. Trophies include carcasses of deer in trees, rocks, bear carcasses in trees. He has an excellent picture of a bear that is basically impaled in a tree over 20 feet up. It's pretty impressive. There are violent reports here in Michigan of Sasquatches attacking people and destroying their bodies and throwing them up in trees and stuff. I've heard that from a pretty reliable source, and there's other accounts and stuff that you can hear about if you join Val's group and stuff. So shout out to him, because he's doing probably the best armchair research I've ever seen. It actually is producing results and stuff. So he spends countless hours researching and diving into sightings and reports and trying to talk to witnesses and stuff. So pretty amazing guy. You guys can watch some of the shows we had with him and talk about some of his data points and how he got started. Very fascinating story in and of itself. So he points to them being a little bit more aggressive and more hostile to us, and he possibly, and I have to be reminded of this, that they probably don't like humans a lot of the time, because we destroy everything, we dominate the landscape, and are very cruel to a lot of animals and ourselves. So of course they did. I would assume they take us as a threat. We take them as a threat. I mean, we take every animal as a threat in the world. So, but his data kind of points it to, sometimes it's more of a nefarious reasons of why they're doing stuff, and not necessarily because they're just friendly forest giants that like to watch us and stuff. There's more of a, whether it's just Mother Nature side, but a dominant, primal being like they are, they're going to eat everything else. And so pretty much a lot of reports and stuff that he thinks, and what other reports are of, they have a very voracious appetite. And when they get super hungry, they can be very violent and stuff if they don't get their food. We know about this through habituation, of course. If you don't feed them, they'll get extremely mad and extremely angry, violently angry and stuff. So he says they're viciously hungry and stuff. And, humans are on the menu. We are on the menu. Great apes, even gorillas have been shown to, I believe the mountain gorillas are not it's one of the other mountain gorillas or the lowland gorillas. They have found that they ate some monkeys, and chimpanzees, of course, go to war and eat other monkeys and hunt actually other monkeys and stuff. So smaller monkeys and stuff, they eat other proteins and stuff like that. So Sasquatch, and we know of the Native American tales, which I believe 100% accurately, that they depict what these creatures were like, and they said that they would eat them. They would sometimes, other tribes would say they would cannibalize themselves and cannibalize their own dead and eat the Native Americans dead, whether they were rotting or not. They would eat them and stuff. Of course, this causes conflict. But there's other stories of them with they were trading goods. They would make baskets for the Sasquatches. The Sasquatches would give them different gifts and stuff. Usually animals. But the Sasquatches, they would make big baskets. Sasquatch-sized baskets that would wear them as a strap like a backpack. And because the Sasquatches could not weave these baskets themselves, I guess they're either their hands were too big, they're not dexterous enough, or they could not, for whatever reason, they could not make those baskets themselves. Although they had the intellect and intelligence to understand trading and stuff, whatever communication was going on to do that, they were not able to make these baskets. So obviously there was good relations and stuff, but then one bad apple spoils the bunch. And what a lot of stories allude to is one Sasquatch or some Sasquatches, they would begin to pick up children and put them in the baskets and steal women and children and steal people. And this would lead to war and conflict, of course, and then the disintegration of these trading relationships or whatever kind of good relationships was going on, because the Sasquatches would put these kids into these big old baskets that they made. And you can find these references in the West Coast, especially of the woman of the wild woman of the woods and stuff, how sometimes she'll capture you and put you in a basket. And so the natives would stop trading the baskets. And of course, then eventually, after war, usually they would stop. So the stories of them going to war and stories of them driving these Sasquatches into caves, lighting the entrances on fire and to asphyxiate them in the cave and shoot them with arrows as they ran out. This story is told by different tribes who spoke different languages across thousands of different miles, which means that this was a common occurrence, I guess, that happened and had to be dealt with in different regions by different people at different times in North American history. So, I have to be reminded of that, because when I have experiences, when we usually do, I tend to think it's pretty, wow, it's pretty good, it's pretty nice, nothing bad happened. It seemed like they were pretty calm, cool, and collected, pretty friendly, but underlyingly, I still don't trust them. Still, I think that they're very dangerous, could turn on you at any drop of a dime. If they're hungry enough, old enough, hurt enough, they probably would eat you if they can't eat anything else. Every other animal would do that. Your dog would do that. If you drop dead and stuff and your dog starts starving, he's not going to be starving for long. When me and Jason had our encounter and stuff, and they showed themselves to us, I'm very conflicted by this encounter, because I had a gun and stuff, and they obviously know this. When they showed themselves, I've said this 1,000 times. I pointed the gun at them, but at the ground, and put it away once I realized it was Sasquatch activity, and they showed themselves to us, right? And there was another one flanking us, as two were showing us. So if they wanted to get us, right, I'm sure they could have got us. They didn't need to announce themselves to us, right? So, they'd show themselves to us and all that. Was that something good? Or, again, was it nefarious, and were they just testing to see what we were doing, how we would react, which I think they were expecting probably most people to probably shoot at them. Obviously, I did not, but with that one other circling around and flanking us, they were in control. They definitely wanted to make sure they had the upper edge on us if something bad were to happen and I started trying to pop off rounds. That third one was going to make sure that, to the best of our knowledge, we didn't know where he was, but we did hear him until Jason seen him cross the trail, spider crawl across the trail. So that doesn't point to, their actions wasn't really too nefarious. It wasn't really bad, no bad vibes, nothing like that. But, don't have no clue of any kind of understanding of what they wanted. Why did they did that? They did not communicate in any sort of way. No vocal communication with us. No finger, sign language. No nothing at us. They just announced themselves and tree peeked behind this tree, and we were watching them. We were pointing at them. We obviously knew we were seeing them, and they just let us see them. And so that was it. I'm not sure. I don't know what was going on. So, but there's missing people all over that area. I mean, there's missing people all over that area. And that kid doesn't sit well with me. So, are the Sasquatches doing it, or is there something else going on? I don't know. I know for a fact those Sasquatches, if they want to, they can. No doubt about it. Even with me and Jason, there's at least 3 of them. I mean, one of them could do it. Take you out, no problem. So if they're taking people, they're taking people and they're going somewhere, and they're going and they're taking these people places, because these search and rescue police people are not finding these people anywhere near. And when they do find people, they're miles and miles outside of these search zone regulations of where the people should be, especially kids. It is, I don't know, it just doesn't sit well with me. My whole, that whole, I didn't realize, about all these missing people and stuff until after this fact. Then you start deep diving into the areas and deep diving into all this stuff, and you find out, whoa, holy crap, there's a crap load of missing people, and you're basically smack dab in the middle of it. And you have this encounter with these Sasquatches and stuff. I don't know. It doesn't sit well with me, because if these same Sasquatches are living with family members that kidnap people every couple of years, every decade or so, there's missing people. Why would they just do that and have this interaction with me and Jason if they kidnap people and all that, or eating people and stuff like that? But what if it's something else? What because if it's simply they're just eating us, this is why people go missing. There should be more, because hunger and it's a very strong animalistic instinct that most animals cannot and do not have control over. If they are hungry, they must eat. They must, right? So most animals will, do whatever they can to get food and stuff. So Sasquatches were doing it primarily for food. I think there'd be a lot more opportunistic attacks on people that we would know about. We would clearly have evidence of. Researchers would clearly, be experiencing this sort of stuff. Or they're kidnapping for another purpose, which is not food related, which would mean that they're kidnapping these people to try to keep them alive and bring them back to their home for whatever reason after that. I do not know. But if it's not to kill them, then they're trying to bring these people back alive. Maybe, speculation after speculation and stuff. But if they killed every single person that walked on, trespassed onto their property, and they got close to their kids and stuff, it'd be in the newspapers every week. There would be no researchers, because we'd be getting too close to them all the time, and they would be attacking us. Yeah. Even if it's some rogues and stuff out there, they would be attacking. It'd be like a serial killer thing. They'd be attacking more people, and especially if they ate people. Usually, animals, they say they get the taste for humans and stuff. Well, that's not a joke. That's not a lie. It's not a myth. It's because humans are pretty. We taste a certain way, for sure. Obviously, in the human animal kingdom, but we're very soft and easy to chew. When you're very old and your teeth are broken, you're very soft and juicy compared to a lot of other things. So animals actually do get accustomed to eating humans over other things. That is a real thing. That would happen a little bit more, and again, these things would get bloodlust and would not be able to control themselves as much, I believe. So, plus on this grand scale of the Sasquatch's rules and regulations of conduct, if they're all a wild animal brain, on a grand scale, they should not all be able to do what they do. These rules and regulations of how they conduct themselves with humans and fairs, of how they all seem to act the same way, and how they all know how to do the same thing. They all have the same exact escape plan, the same exact thing they do. All this routine, step-by-step plan of how to interact with people and leave people alone, or when people are bugging you too much, first you start making sounds, then you throw stuff at them, then you escalate to this and do this and do this, instead of just straight up attacking. They're not like animals who just straight up attack, get annoyed with you and straight up attack you. There's a step-by-step process, which seems to be a universal rule set that they seem to follow, which should not be happening if it's a natural, animalistic, normal animal brain. Even a highly intelligent animal that's still an animal. This should not be happening across the board. There should be more attacks. There should be randomness. There should be just more stuff that would be out in the open. So it does not sit well with me when I read about these missing 401 cases or these odd disappearances. And, it's in these areas where, I had the Sasquatch activity and full-blown face-to-face encounters. It doesn't really sit well at all. We got the caller kid himself. What's up, James?
I am here.
I am here. Nice to see you, man.
I don't know how long you're going to be streaming for, but I'm here.
Hey, stream for a while, not doing much else.
Well, it's 4th of July almost, so.
I figured everyone was doing something, but
I'm not doing something till Monday.
We're not doing nothing really.
I'm not doing anything till Monday, but my neighbor's been lighting off so many fireworks.
The kids are sick, so we're not going anywhere. Why spend the money on something that they're not even gonna be in the mood to do? So, which is whatever. So we'll come on here and talk a little bit about stuff. So, missing food, more missing people. Is So, you were up in those areas and stuff. There's a lot of missing people. You didn't know until after the fact. I keep telling you all this, but there's like dozen missing people up there at least.
Yep, within like 10 miles of where we were camping.
A big old circle. And that's not counting missing boats and aircraft and stuff. So, what is happening to these people? I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
Before I knock over my nightstand. I think Sasquatches is playing a role in some circumstances. Not all of it, but I don't know, man. It's always in the back of my head, especially, when we go back up in this area. And these other areas we go to, there's missing people in these other areas too. And I go solo hiking and camping a lot by myself. often. Even when we go on a big old trip. In the mornings when I first wake up, I tend to go off by myself, and that's just what I do and stuff. So, but this is always in the back of my head because it's just
Yeah.
like, when I'm out there and stuff, it really is just like there's no way. First of all, if I don't mean worry about getting lost, because I mean I should be able to walk out of anywhere I'm going here in Michigan, but I have a pretty good sense of direction and stuff, and like I'm not worried about any other animals. Even the Sasquatches, from my experiences, have never been super aggressive or bad or nefarious, even though I hear a lot of reports that says otherwise. But it would, yeah, I mean, I mean, something supernatural, crazy, something crazy would have to happen for me to go missing and stuff like some of these people, because there's no way a person would be out there trying to kidnap me. There's no way a person can even sneak up on me like that. Humans just move too loudly in the woods. If I'm moving away from you and you are trying to keep up with me and sneak up on me, there's just no way you're going to be able to do that.
Not unless you're like oblivious.
Yeah, I mean, not unless I walk right up on you and you're just sitting there already. That's different. But if you're trying to follow me, there's just no way that you'd be able to move fast enough to keep up with me, but quiet enough that I can't hear you. Now, if you move at the pace of the U.S., sniper rangers do, they move super slow. They ain't going to be catching up to you. But I mean, if you're camped out overnight, they will be able to sneak up on you. But so something's going on, with these people, and it's pretty strange and weird. And we're in these areas smack dab, and I'm just reading story after story and all this, and really heavily researching. I gotta.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a tantrum because the show.
What
Little
happened?
big guy. This show's buffering. What bit, boy? Yeah. What do you want? All right. Well, I'll be back. I'm gonna give him a little snack and try to fix this.
All right, I'll be right back as well.
Okay. There. Show's back on. My master calleth. I must serve him. I will be right back, guys. All right.
Welcome back.
Yes, I have to serve my master when he calleth, because that's what a good dad does. So got him all set up, and maybe in a couple years he'll be on the show.
Your girlfriend's not even been on the show yet.
No, she don't want to be, man. She's not for that. You know, she likes to experience stuff, but she don't give a crap about telling a story or who believes it or whatever. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, so yeah, I want her to come on. She has some great stories of ghost stories and some stories about me and her going out now and seeing that dog man with me, of course. So I think it's gonna happen. Just gonna have to be patient about it. You know, she just doesn't care to come on. So,
Oh, that
but
sucks.
yeah, just some people. You know, some people just don't care to come on and tell their story. But if you do want to come on and share a story, you can email me at my personal email right there, and contact me, and we can talk a little bit about some stuff and come on the show. I'll be having more people on to come talk about their encounters and stuff a little bit more. So we might see some more guests to come on. Here is the official Lost Cryptids email for you guys. So yeah, well, I guess we'll get back into that a little bit more and stuff. Yeah, but doing a lot of solo stuff and go. You know, I don't know if you guys see the pictures and stuff, but I go out in swamps and stuff, and I'm off getting wet, you know, up to my waist in water and stuff, and we'll be doing more and more of that and stuff actually, and there's some places and some new places I want to go down into and look into these basically islands in these swamps and stuff. I found a couple more that look good, and the only way to get out there is to wade across this swamp water, which depending on the season gets you know, waist high to, in some places is like 5 foot. So
Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah, I think my next swamp trip.
I saw you went like last weekend. I'm pretty sure you took some pictures and posted them. Where you went into a swamp, right?
Yeah. I got all muddy and up to my waist, up in water and stuff, and yeah, it was fun. I actually found a track and stuff. That was like the only thing that really happened.
Did you post a picture of the track or no?
No, I did not post a picture of the track yet and stuff. I got a video and stuff I'm gonna make because I took mainly video of it.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah. It was pretty odd track and stuff. I think you guys there, you know, find it pretty interesting. You know, I'm not saying it is Bigfoot, but I think it is. I don't think it is a bear. I don't think it is a big cat. It doesn't look like a big cat track for one, and it doesn't really look like a bear track. And there's not really supposed to be bear in that area. And if it was a bear, I feel like I'd be able to track it more and find its tracks more reliably, especially when it was on the sandiest part of basically I walked from the swamp, crossed over a trail, walked on the trail a little bit, and went down into another swamp. And I feel like, I don't know, if it was a bear, it should be able to find this, like, you know, almost like the double step type thing. If a bear walks in line, their tracks are pretty easily defined and able to track. With these set of tracks, though, it wasn't like that. There was one defined track, which I captured and studied. All the other tracks and stuff before and after it is a jumbled up mess that you can't tell what walked there, what it is. And then his trail going off to the swamp, you can't tell what it is or anything definitive. So you guys can see that for yourselves. I've been comparing and stuff before, and it just doesn't quite look like anything else. And the toe prints or fingerprints or knuckle prints, whatever it is, I'm kind of debating. I think it might be a handprint, so knuckles are pretty interesting and stuff. They don't look like bear. They're more narrow, like finger narrow type of look than they round bear finger paw finger digit. Usually they're kind of rounded and stuff. They got pretty round, definitive round digits, where these are kind of finger toe type of look. So you guys will see that midweek or next weekend. So might post some pictures midweek and then have a video or something out this weekend, a short video on the track, and then, or I might have the whole long video done, and then I'll have that track in there and stuff like that. And then a little bit of more of analysis, probably a smaller video will come out, but so yeah, but it was insane and stuff. So it was very fresh. I mean, it was probably the morning of. I found it probably an hour or two probably before. So some of the sun just came out or before. So, but I walked all the way around there. Walked over and up and down and up and down several ridges, probably a dozen ridges and stuff up and around swamps and stuff, but didn't find nothing else that was interesting. Didn't have any vocals. I made some vocals at night. I camped out there and stuff, but nothing responding or anything like that. So
just really quiet.
Yeah, just really quiet. A beautiful night. I enjoyed myself. Sat by the fire and all that, and cooked my food and hung out, and I enjoyed myself. So, but finding that track, and I did find a random a sapling that was growing, that was yanked out of the ground. It was growing in a swampy, flooded area. Like the kind that we keep finding. And basically, it was yanked out of the ground in a flooded spot, and it was just laying on the side of a ridge. I found and walked up and just happened to look at the ground and noticed, like, oh, hey, look, this reap ball thing, and oh, there's no hole in the ground one next to this thing, and looks like it grew in a swampy area, so not on the side of the hill. But nothing majorly that was, oh my God, Sasquatch made this and stuff like that. It takes it has to take a pretty interesting thing to get me going on it. I appreciate the comments you guys have given me with that, Rob. I appreciate that, and all we do is just go out and just film and try. I mean, there's nothing really special other than we try to just do the work, and I might go walking in a swamp or something, but I think it's our attitudes and stuff, the way we go about it, is just being calm, cool, and collected about things and not trying to freak out too much. Can you guys hear any background noise?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pause that because I don't want to get copyrighted and all that.
I need to fix something too. What are these skinwalkers? That's a little better.
Can you hear anything now?
Just slightly, but it's probably good enough.
Yeah, as long as you don't majorly hear it, I'm not too worried about it. But they will get you on that. Any audio, especially that's played, that's not yours.
Well, you can mute it, but yeah, it just mutes everything though.
Yeah, it would mute this whole conversation and all that. It just won't monetize it. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Which doesn't mean much.
Well, sometimes depending on what it is, it can block it from other countries as well.
Yeah,
I've had it happen a couple times.
But if it like majorly is picking it up, then it will give me some hassle about it, which is never fun. So don't ever want to do that.
We have a question asking what skinwalkers are.
No, I don't have to be sorry about anything. That does fall into the cryptid category. Well, the basic definition of a skinwalker comes from the Navajo legend of these skinwalker witches, which they practiced this type of witchcraft. It came, wore the pelts and skins of these animals, and they could come and transform these animals. And to the Navajo, these witches, shamans, were medicine men and would help the tribe and stuff, not necessarily be evil, not necessarily be good either. But to their enemies and to the surrounding tribes, these Navajo skinwalker witches were very evil and very nefarious. To their eyes, these were partaking into very dark magic and stuff. So a lot of the evil part of the skinwalker stories comes from the enemies of the Navajo people themselves. But and then the stories of, sometimes you have to become a skinwalker. You have to do a very evil act and stuff. Very, very horrendous evil act on the closest person you love or family member, mom and dad, things like that. And so yeah, that's basically what it comes from, is from that. But there's dog soldiers and stuff, which different tribes spoke of, which were similarly, basically these Native American shaman warriors would don these pelts and transform, and they went into battle and stuff like that. Those were not related to Navajo witchcraft and stuff like that. So I think that there's a lot of things we do not know. I think there's a lot of ancient cultures and magic and things, that technology that we do not understand, that we have forgotten, we have lost. We have lost these knowledge of these names of the cryptids. We've lost the knowledge of our spirituality. We've lost the knowledge how to build Stonehenge. We don't even know how to build the pyramids. We cannot build the pyramids with all of our technology we have today. You can't even fit enough machinery in there to even put the blocks in place. There'd be too much machinery in the way to even move anything. We don't know how they built Teotihuacan in South America. We don't know how they built any of these temples. We don't know how. Heck, they say we can't even get back to the moon. So.
Oh, really?
There's some nasty people who say that, blah blah blah. Anyways, it doesn't matter. It was a little joke. But in India, they have this amazing stairwell well. It's staircase after staircase that goes down deep wells that it's carved into solid rock. Okay, these temples, some of these temples are carved into the rock, and it's like a cave and stuff. Everything's carved. Everything, all this. We cannot do that with our technology that we have now. So these ideas that some of these things weren't real because it involves this magic or involves this storytelling from savages and stuff. Well, I'm sorry, but those savages lived a more environmentally friendly and spiritual lifestyle than we certainly do. They knew how to read the land in better ways and could do better things and more things than we ever could do. I mean, they could live. Yeah, they do a lot of things that we just simply are not able to do anymore. So when they say, these people used to have the ability to do certain things, well, that's no different than people used to have the ability to make the pyramids. And they used to have the knowledge to do certain things. There's in the island of Malta, there's an old ancient cave in there, and there's an old ancient, basically, chamber system that is built for resonating sounds and frequencies, and gets into from quantum physics type of science and stuff that these ancient people were doing in this ancient place, but yet our ancient ancestors were stupid. These medieval people were, peasants were stupid and all that, but these people weren't stupid. Our ancestors who are smart as us, if not smarter, a lot of cases, they think that our ancestors were smarter than us, that certainly better shaped than us, certainly better physicality and shape and strength and everything. Everyone was toned. Everyone had a six-pack. Everyone was fit to the max beyond. I mean, if you look at the ancient Roman, Greek athletes, Olympians compared to now, they would eat us up for breakfast. Some of these guys, so this knowledge that they had to, say turn into wolves or do these magic, as we call it, because this magic is just technology or whatever that we do not understand, technology or science that we do not understand. It's called magic. There's legends of, magical items, being able to do stuff, rods, being able to shoot laser beams and stuff like that. That's just technology. That's not, So anyways, we have lost all this knowledge and lost all these ideas. Well, certain parts of the world in these wild places, it could be some of these lost arts and traditions that live on through people or through beings and entities and through whatever. That some people, say you are born into a family that practices skinwalker stuff. I'm sure you will, if you're born into a family like that, that's pretty much what you grow into and what you're going to do. You're not going to tell the world about it. So read some of these comments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this let's get some deep darks. Let's go to the rabbit hole for a second.
Well, oh yeah.
Go ahead. Let's hear your point and stuff you want to make.
Well, I don't have a point. I was gonna go in a different direction, but
go ahead. Oh, let's hear it.
I just sent you a video, but recently I saw this video that some guy said that there was a sinkhole that opened up in China and it went down like a few hundred feet basically, and apparently some cliff climbers went down there, and they once they got down there, the grass was taller than their head. There was grass at the bottom and it was taller than their head.
Yeah. Going in that sinkhole. Yeah, is that new cave or something they discovered?
I don't know, probably. It was one of those conspiracy like YouTube pages that posted it. So
Okay.
I don't know.
There's a few of those. I don't think the Earth is flat, but I think the Earth is hollowed out with
Yeah,
caverns
me
and
too.
karst systems and great expanses that are unmapped. Certainly, it could hold unique species of natural animals, not or could be cryptids in there, but I think there's just natural animals, undiscovered species of animals.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy about it. Sasquatches and stuff, but yeah, there's places in China that are perfect for making those big old cave systems and stuff. So karst systems. So the rabbit hole I was going to dive into with the skinwalkers and stuff about how evil and stuff they have to do is, a lot of these cultures it's universal. It's this universal dark magic that you have to kill your most beloved one to gain access to this higher power of magic and stuff, right? So it's not just in Native American skinwalker culture, but it is in European culture or ancient Egypt culture or ancient Jewish culture and stuff like that. They talk about the same stuff. Now, they do the same evil act to gain different powers, but it's still the same evil act that they have to do to gain whatever kind of powers, whether it be transforming into something else like a skinwalker or having the power to do magic in other ways and stuff. So I'll be right back. I gotta fix something. Yeah.
Where'd the bird go?
You,
Where'd the bird go?
you can pick which one.
Bird!
Okay.
Uh-oh.
He thinks he's got all the power. I gave him my other phone. He's scrolling on YouTube.
It's happening.
So it's this universal thing that a lot of different cultures, that's what you have to do this for this evil. If you are part of the evil side and stuff, that's typically what you have to do. It's all these cultures, you can hear about it, the conspiracies that the elites are doing even now. It's the same sort of stuff, same thing. It is pretty problematic that even all cultures around the world, even the deepest recesses of the Amazonian jungles, that human sacrifices happens, or dark sacrifices to gods, and dark things happen to people on a universal scale. And it seems like there is some outside evil entity that influences people and always leads to them bloodshedding other people and sacrificing and evil people in power doing evil things. So yeah, the Skinwalkers is just another story of that same telling of, to gain this worldly power, this dark power, you have to destroy the most innocent thing that you love, and that is just horrific and against God and against nature itself. And what it is, it's basically a crime against nature itself. And so these people become dark and they become ghoulish and demonic and stuff even. And that's why skinwalkers, especially, you always hear them saying they're demonic or there's something bad, evil about them and stuff like that, is because if that is really how it is, then, well, yeah, it's all evil then. And of course, whether you're religious, spiritual or not, it does not matter, because if these things are real and these people are practicing this stuff and it's real to them, it's real to them. And I think that there's spiritual warfare. There's certain rules and regulations that governs that sort of stuff. And my best advice would be to get well with God and pray and to have faith. So
Illuminati. Ooh, we could talk
that
about
was
that.
that was that. It's the same thing. It's all a part of that. It's all that evil side. Is that whole, evil agenda, no matter what level and stuff. And so you sent me that video of that China thing.
Oh, did you watch it already?
No, I can't watch it when I'm in here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I said it.
I will watch it though when we're done.
Yeah, it's
I got
just
time.
60 seconds. So.
Oh. Yeah, in Vietnam and stuff, they found that huge, massive cave system that they have to get into. That's another thing I've been looking up and researching is cave explorations, caving accidents, cave rescues, a lot of caves and stuff like that. And there's some amazing. I just watched one today about the biggest cave in Germany, biggest and longest, deepest cave in Germany, and they still haven't fully mapped it out and think it's possibly connected to this huge other massive cave system and stuff like that through the Alps and stuff. So like, yeah,
That's crazy.
it's like, yeah, the one shaft to get down is way taller than the Eiffel Tower. It's a couple 100 feet drop, and then it's like 6,000 feet. Walk that way and through tight squeezes and tunnels and different chambers and pretty sweet. Anyways, there's a rescue happened there. Anyways, but when they show the graphics and stuff, I mean, this cave is fully unexplored because there's just simply you get down to the basically where they, have explored, and then there's just sheer drop offs, hundreds of feet or thousands of feet. I mean, no one's been down there to even explore because it takes that long to get there. I was talking with you about that one trip cave that it's a different cave. These people are so deep in this cave. There's different base camps, like base camp 1, base camp 2 and 3 and 4, and they're staying at base camp 1 for like a week, and then they go down and stuff like that, and they're hauling in all the supplies and stuff like that. It's like you're staying at base camp 1 and 2 for a week before you even heading down to the other camps. Like that is deep down. That is some crazy stuff. Those were scientists and stuff. Cave experts and stuff studying the environments and exploring and mapping and karst systems and stuff because it's all water and cave systems and
somebody has to do it.
It's a new science and stuff. Basically, it's a new research and stuff because people don't go down in there. People don't go down in these treacherous waterways and water holes and all that. So.
Not unless they're looking for Bigfoot. I mean,
no, actually, it's mostly the people going into those type of environments are actual just scientists or cave exploration people who are studying and mapping out unknown cave passages, and they're the ones on the front lines that are in these environments. So if there's any type of new animal cryptid, that they would be the first ones to encounter them in these type of cavern depths and karst systems, these deep recesses of these earth. That's how they found the Crystal Cave in Mexico. As they've finally discovered this amazing thing, and then basically, I think they either it was in a cavern or there was a mine or something, but people stumbled across this other chamber filled with giant crystals. Amazing, amazing pictures of it online you can find. Amazing place.
What'd you say it was? I'll look it up really quick.
Mexican giant crystal cave.
Okay.
And you'll find a picture, and there's usually the guy standing there. It's just massive crystal chunks behind him. That's a remarkable find. It's being studied all the time. But what they don't really tell you a lot is
I've seen it before. Yeah.
You can only go there at certain times and stuff because it's so hot that it actually will cook you to death. And there was a guy who actually got trapped in there and got cooked alive because it gets so hot actually up in there because of thermal dynamics and geothermal heating and different stuff. So a lot of these environments are actually very extreme. Either it's cold and wet and hyperthermic totally all year round, or water levels are constantly changing, and you might have rain that happened miles and miles away that all of a sudden is chambered through aquifers and karst systems into the cave. And there's been plenty of caving accidents and stuff where all of a sudden there's a flash flood and you're inside a cave, and that is probably the most dangerous thing that can happen besides getting hypothermic and stuff. Let me see it.
Do, 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 do. Mm.
He needed a little help on the phone, and he could obviously is more important than this show, so I really don't give a shit.
You gave him a phone?
Yeah. Well, the TV and stuff in here, sometimes the Wi-Fi doesn't.
Oh,
buffers
okay.
and stuff
I got
on
it.
So
Okay.
I just gave him.
I was like, you're playing with fire there.
No, I gave him the spare phone. He can't really do much on it that I'm worried about. So, no, actually, he's pretty independent. He only needs to when he can't figure out it, do it himself. But yeah. So, let's move on to something else. If you guys got any other questions, let's get them in the chat. Someone can join. We have the link is in the chat. I'll post it again. I'm trying to post it.
Somebody's tired and wants dad's attention.
He's pretty independent and stuff anymore. He only needs me when he. I'm basically here to make him some sandwiches and stuff. That's it.
Is your girlfriend not home?
No, she's working. Night shift.
She's
and all that.
working? What?
Night shift, yeah.
Where at?
She works at a care facility, taking care of people.
Oh, okay. Not at Wendy's anymore?
Oh no, that's long time
Okay.
ago.
These tall men.
Nope. Huh?
What are tall men? What are they?
Tall men? I haven't really heard of that, unless you're referring to like more giant
Maybe.
stories of giant people or something. But
Oh, that's what Rob put.
Sasquatch, they've been called tall men and stuff. I don't know. I think they're
Unless he's talking about like Goliath or something.
I think they're people and stuff. Yeah. Honestly, we don't know what they are. They could be. They could be. They could. It could be a lot of things, but as close as I personally have got to them, and keep trying to get to them and stuff, and as much as everyone else has get to them, we have not got any closer to finding out what they are since before the Patterson film. I mean, nothing has really changed at all. So the only ones who seem to known about they are, honestly, is all the ancient cultures that talked about them. They said they were wild men, wild people. People. They didn't say that they were monkeys.
He's talking about like CIA people, like
Oh, tall too, like the Men in Black.
yeah, Men in
Alien
Black.
type.
Yeah.
Again, maybe I'll eat my words one day. I tend not to believe in that unless I see it for myself. But the government has Men in Black. Yeah, that Men in Black is real. I mean, that's not fake. It's just then it's just like, well, who do they work for? What department do they really work for, and what brand? What really are they doing and stuff? That's a real question, because Men in Black could come from multiple different agencies that don't work with each other. Multiple different agencies doing multiple different things, investigating different stuff that don't work with each other. But yet these Men in Black are basically the investigators looking out and are unnamed and unregistered, who don't work for any official agency or government, but yet are working for the government and these unnamed agencies with super special, super top secret, super classified clearances and all that we are not privy to know.
He said they're almost alien looking.
Yeah, I've seen the videos and stuff like that.
I haven't.
It's just videos of them being, bodies distorting, or their faces look like they're changing, or
reptilian.
somehow kind of things like that. Some of it, I have no idea, man. It looks freaky as heck. Some of it, I think, is just video distortion through pixelization of crappy resolution, speed of the person walking and moving itself, a bunch of things, lighting, a bunch of combinations. But real government agents who are unknown and unnamed and work for unnamed, super classified, top secret, that you never even known this agency, what they do and what they are for. Yeah, those people are real. Yeah, for sure, 100%. And they're probably doing things to protect us every single day. Certainly with serial killers, I would have to say there's definitely a lot more out there than the public is given knowledge of, and I'm sure there's definitely teams out there doing some incredible work and some, let's say, not so legal work to catch some of these bad guys. So so Slender Man is a creepypasta that was made up and created by people.
Yeah, did you hear about those people that those two girls that stabbed that one girl like 30 times, and then they finally one of them's trying to get out of jail, basically?
Yeah, they did it because they wanted to summon him, which he never showed up. Yep. Imagine that. It appears both those girls were mentally challenged and stuff, had stuff wrong with them. One especially was heavily influenced by the other, who was anyways, it's just creepypasta made up. It's not real. Now there are tall, slender looking stickmen entities out there. I've witnessed a stick man who, I guess, if Slender Man was 7 foot tall, I know typically he's taller, but if Slender Man wasn't so tall and didn't have a suit on, it'd basically be what I had seen. But what I had seen had the face. I had seen the eyes and stuff, and it had ears. So it wasn't Slender Man. I just think it's fake. And if people are seeing it, then it's a paranormal entity that is transforming it into whatever your imagination is thinking of, or whatever scary that is in your mind to affect you and stuff. So, you know, like ghosts and stuff. I don't mess with ghosts because when you dive into ghosts, you know, you get into the afterlife, it gets into religious stuff, it gets to demonic entities, poltergeists, blah 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 blah, who masquerade as friendly ghosts, and you don't know what you're messing with. You don't know. And these ghosts can transform, and now all of a sudden they're a friendly little child, right? Who knows your name, or they're your dead relative, their dead auntie Jill, who now comes through the spirit box in your auntie's voice, and it sounds like your auntie, and she says your name, and that's not your auntie. That's not her voice, and that's, you know. So why can't people experience those sort of things out in the woods? If it happens in buildings and man-made buildings and houses of people, why can't that happen out in the forests too?
I mean, it does actually,
and it could happen on a grander scale and stuff. You know, there's a lot of things going on in the world, in the nature and stuff. You know, there's so much complex stuff going on we just don't understand. The trees themselves are alive. The plants are alive. They are organisms that are connected, that can feel
pain.
They can feel pain. They are telepathic. There was an experiment that was done. I'm sure you probably know about it. The guy who invented the lie detector test, he hooked it up to a plant. It was trying to figure out a reaction to, you know, see what the plant would react. And when he, you know, he thought about burning the plant, getting a match and setting the plant on fire. When he thought it, he didn't say anything. He didn't do it. When he thought about it, the plant reacted on the polygraph and was freaking out, and basically freaked out until he put the matches out of the room.
Really?
And he would do different experiments and stuff. And one of the experiments was he basically what did he do to I think he did something to a bug, a spider or something, and basically was trying to like hurt the spider or whatever, and the plant was freaking out that this guy was trying to hurt this other organism and stuff, and it only stopped when they, anyways, you guys can read about this different experiments and stuff, and they got used to some of the stuff. So like,
I've never heard any of this.
Yeah, it's crazy. And these were basic house plants and stuff, and so like, it showed that not only plants were alive and they were observant of their entire environment, of the outside world, they had feelings and stuff. They were observable feelings of distress, observable feelings of potential empathy for other organisms that are in trouble and are getting hurt. A whole host of things. Telepathically, he was able to register that what he was going to try to do to the plant without him saying anything. So when you're in the whole forest of plants and stuff,
you might want to mute and fix that. That's a big copyright right there. Baby Shark will end it.
Oh, that's a battle.
You heard what I said, right?
Oh, I'll get shut down with that one for sure.
Yeah, I've seen somebody do it before. They played Baby Shark until the stream ended, and it took like 15 minutes, and the stream went down.
Yeah, I ain't trying to do that and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. So when you're in back to the point was, if you're in a forest full of plants, trees, grasses, all sorts of shrubbery, bushes, what is really going on? Are they talking to each other? Are they talking about you?
I don't know. It's so weird.
I mean, there are other studies of different forests that are sentient and they are able to, talk to other trees and things like that. There are studies going on as we speak that are showing plants sentient intelligence and sentient beings. In fact, that they are aware of their outside environment. They are showing intelligence and emotions that are above even animals in certain ways. So when you're in a forest and stuff, and this is all going on, there's a lot of energies going on. There's a lot of natural things going on that just are totally above and beyond our comprehension. And that's why a lot of ancient cultures, Native American cultures, high respects with Mother Nature, with plants and animals, and this, the way of life and the life cycle of everything dies or kills something else to fill its need, and everything else is used up, whether it's it's discarded on the ground, the plants eat it up, everything. If all these plants and stuff, they say are alive and stuff, that's why they say, the earth is alive, because, the earth is made up of a lot of organisms, plant biological organisms, us and everything else. And on the grand scale of things, it's all balanced out, it all runs, works on a very slight, very thin line that Earth runs on. Too much heat, we would die. Too much cold, we'd die by one degree, basically. 1 degree here, there's no life. 1 degree here, no life. If there's a certain amount of animals, if there's too much deer and stuff, it affects the ecosystem. If there's not enough predators, it affects the ecosystem.
There's too many predators.
If there's too many predators, everything else balances, and everything typically every couple of years, if there's an imbalance, it balances out. So there's a lot of things, mysteries of the forests of North America and beyond. Of forest, a lot of ancient peoples talk about mysterious forests. Of forests, they talk about the forest is alive. The trees are alive. Blah 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 blah, stuff like that. Well, now there's scientific backing to kind of show things like that. And then we're at the very tip of the iceberg when it comes to that. I mean, the very tip of the iceberg. So, maybe Sasquatch is a little bit more in tune with nature and, can read these signs and these different things that are going on that us modern humans just simply cannot see or overlooking and just are not in tune with. So there's a lot of crazy stuff out there. It doesn't have to be Sasquatch, but a lot of mysteries out there.
What's the next topic?
All right. Well, we're almost 2 hours in. I don't think my boy's gonna be able to. I'm sure he'd be able to do it. We're gonna do 20 more minutes. I think we're gonna drop it. Stop. I want to play with him and stuff, get him all riled up before bed, so he can just pass out. And there's a few things and stuff I want to do. I think he's been a good boy for 2 hours and stuff, so that's long enough. So yeah. He would have been in bed and stuff, but he's been sick and stuff, so I've been letting him stay up and hang out. And yeah, He was a big boy the other day and slept. He was able to sleep on the couch and watch TV all night. So he felt big and bad.
All right. What do you think about aliens in like way back, like back in like ancient China times? There was like this god that made a bunch of medicines, or they called him a god basically, and he made a bunch of medicines, and apparently he had the same skin color that resembled like an alien like species that had like a certain type head, and people were thinking that maybe that god was actually alien. He actually gave the people basically I guess the theory is that he was like an alien, and basically all the people that he made are basically alien offspring. So basically all of Chinese people are offspring of him. So all Chinese people are aliens. was a theory I found.
Yeah.
Interdimensional, I guess you could say. Yeah.
I've never really heard of the alien aspect of that, but what they claim, is the Chinese people that are made from a dragon.
Yeah,
Well, I know people are equated to alien and stuff, but they definitely say that culturally that yes, they came from a dragon, and that the Chinese language and stuff, especially writing, was taught to them by a dragon, and the first emperor of China learned some things from a dragon and stuff like that. Is what they say.
Well, apparently dragons are still alive.
Yeah, they're
living. They're living on top of mountains.
Who knows, honestly?
Yeah.
If you go to the Himalayas and stuff, a lot of those peaks and mountains and stuff, some of those places are not explored. Some of those places they don't know. You can't even get there. Yeah, everyone goes to Mount Everest and stuff, but like, there's literally other places that you really can't even get to. They have the whole Shangri-La and stuff, the lost city out there, which is this lost heavenly, super magical or advanced ancient civilizational city that has otherworldly races in it too. Not only people, but deities and demigods and beastly type of creatures. Have Chinese. They have pictures of have bison type creatures and demonic. They look demonic and stuff to me and other stuff, but they're like humanoid creatures that are just different. And they talk about this lost cities and stuff like that, and there's a couple of these lost cities like Shangri-La and Agartha and all over the world. There's one in Eastern Europe or East Eurasia and stuff. They talk about it in Russia. There's this lost advanced Shangri-La type of place.
What's happening?
I know, he keeps turning the volume up.
To answer your question, Rob, I'm pretty sure, there are different types of Sasquatch that can cloak and some that can't. Some that can and cannot.
I don't know, man. Different breeds and stuff, Well, there's different races of human, but we're all human, right? I think it's probably just like that, they're all Sasquatches. They just look a little different, just like different races. They're all human. There's absolutely nothing different other than this color of the skin. So
I don't know if I
in
believe
terms,
in I don't know if
in-
I believe in cloaking, but like
yeah,
there has been times where they just disappear out of thin air. So I don't know. Until I like see
Well,
one vanish, until I see one like vanish like in front of me, I'm not gonna believe it.
I actually, there's a video you guys can watch on here, and it's called Bigfoot Followed Me Out of the Woods, Part 1 and Part 2, I think. I don't know if it was actually Bigfoot, but I got followed out of the woods by some unknown, unseen thing that was following me, and I tried to film it. And at one part, I'm in the opening, and they're walking, and I'm like, "Oh, here we go! I'm gonna film whatever it is." I'm expecting a Bigfoot because that's what I'm thinking. I keep hearing stuff, except for there's nothing that walked out to the clearing, except for I could hear the footsteps crunching in the leaves, and then they separated. So I knew there was more than one, and they got on each side of me, and that's kind of when I freaked out and kept going back. And I walked all the way back to my car. They followed me out to my car. You can see in the video I'm filming. I'm right basically at the car still. I keep trying to film because I should be able to see them. I don't see nothing. I don't know if it's Bigfoot. I'm not sure if it is Bigfoot. At the time, I don't know. I'm in the woods. I always look for Bigfoot and stuff. He knows how to turn it up. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I don't
If you
care.
just talk over it,
It doesn't matter. I mean, honestly, this amount of money, I don't make anything really off these videos and stuff, so it don't matter to me.
Oh yeah, but you can get banned worldwide from Baby Shark.
YouTube is pretty good. I think they'll understand.
I don't know about that, but
I don't know. I've got copyrighted for some things, and I fought, and I've got everything, basically squared away. I had this other channel. I can't remember the name. It's this Bigfoot channel. It's pretty big. Bigfoot. They did a copyright strike for a little clip of Igor National Geographic video I played,
really?
saying it was theirs, and I wrote to YouTube and said, "This is from National Geographic. This is 10 plus years old. This is not, blah, 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 blah." And then I said, "Well, he has videos that are not his on his. Maybe you should check him out." They fixed that real quick. So when I write a response, I write a response.
Yeah.
So if any real person reads that, they're just be like, "Oh, okay, yep." So I'm not worried about that. I don't care. So that was the only time that I ever thought maybe Bigfoot could cloak. But then again, I have no indication that it was Sasquatch. Could have been a ghost. Could have been a skinwalker. Could have been aliens. Who knows? I have no idea. All I know is that, yes, I was followed out, chased out of the woods almost. I wasn't chased out, but like coerced out of the woods by unseen forces that I clearly could not see, but I could hear walking. And it scared me enough to where I got out of the area, went back to my car and left because I was being followed by something I could not see. And yeah, it did freak me out. And on video, I think I even said, yeah, I don't want no missing 411 crap to happen. And I've been back to that area. Nothing like that's happened again. I have discovered that there is a rock mound over there. There are several rocks. There's several rocks that point to the rock mound that I've discovered. I discovered the rocks first on my trips, but then I finally figured out where they pointed to, and I found it. Was the head had anything to do with it? I don't know. These burial mounds, these rock piles in the middle of the woods that make no sense. Are they, I have no idea if that's correlation. No idea if it's Bigfoot cloaking until I experience something more to indicate what it is. Cannot say what it is. It was just something invisible that walked around, and two of them walked around me and got on the sides. And you guys can watch that video. It's
Bigfoot
like
on both
Bigfoot.
sides of me or something.
No. That's a different clip.
Oh, it
It's
is.
a
Okay.
Bigfoot followed me out of the woods or something like that. And then the next day, me and you go into the woods and have our incredible encounter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's why I wasn't so freaked out and stuff, because I was just like,
This just happened.
yeah, it just happened, and this has
What
happened.
the
So
heck?
that's why I'm kind of smiling, and you're freaking out.
Yeah, you never told me that. What the heck?
I didn't want you to freak out even more when that was happening, but I did tell you a couple times, but like, it's not an encounter story. It's on the YouTube. You guys can watch it, but it's not something I bring up often because, yeah, it was something invisible. Most people are not going to believe me, even if you guys can watch the damn video yourself. I don't care. But it happened, so people want to talk about it, we can, but I don't really bring it up because I don't want people to like, oh, you experienced too much. Bro, I just go out there with the camera. Like, I don't, experience too much. Well, I'm trying to film it for you guys now. So hopefully if stuff happens to me, you guys can see it. And it's not just a story for me to tell you. I actually have stuff to show you guys. I don't want to have stories to tell. I want to be able to show you guys on top of the story. So we're really trying to get evidence. We have got, I don't want to toot my horn, but I think we got some pretty decently good stuff in terms of audio, in terms of eye shine, in terms of our encounters, the way that we ourselves are acting when we're out there, when we're experiencing stuff. Me and you had a rock being thrown at us. Literally, it goes through the trees. Undeniable. We've had encounters in different areas across the state. Audio wood knocks. Tyler has some amazing audio that he has of wood knocks, and he has one of a wood knock, an owl response, and another wood knock.
Yeah.
Actually, Tyler has a great piece of audio of something smacking a tree with a stick, and that stick breaking apart and landing on the ground close to the audio recorder, pointing that, in fact, something did pick up a stick and break it. So there's a lot of stuff, when we were over in Allegan and stuff, we had very close encounters with Sasquatch up there. Something massive got thrown. You guys can watch that huge, it's like hour-long documentary and stuff. But in there's wood knocks. There's part 1 and part 2. There's encounters in both of them, close encounters. So you guys can watch me and Jason's encounter up in the UP. You see eye shine on that. I mean, don't get pretty much any better than that unless you actually seen the creatures themselves on camera. Other than that, it's a full-blown encounter caught on camera. So,
Yeah, Tyler just went to West Virginia last week.
West Virginia, yep.
But he said he didn't have any connection out there, which sucked. And he went on a hike and didn't find anything or have anything happen to him, which sucks.
Right. That's usually what happens most of the time.
Yeah, but usually find something at least. Like a weird stick structure. Yeah.
Something.
Something.
That's just how it is too. Usually, I know I've been out several times and nothing majorly has happened. I found that track, but like, I mean, it is good, I guess. It's pretty interesting find, and especially if other people think it's pretty interesting and it's not like some bear or cat or something like that. But like, I really want like encounters to happen, like interaction and stuff, and catching that on video. I guess.
See, I do, but I don't.
Maybe I'm just. I don't know.
I want fun.
That's what I'm at.
I want fun interaction to happen, not aggressive interaction.
I've never had aggressive yet.
I thought you said you have had, like a long time
Well,
ago.
yes and no. Well, I got yelled at by one who was, he was pretty aggressive. He probably would have
I meant the one that ran at you. Blunt charge.
That technically wasn't aggressive. My first encounter. I made a little whoop. When I heard some commotion, it came down and step on the road, jumped over, because I went the next day, jumped over a bush, landed in water, and stopping. I call it a bluff charge because I don't know what else to call it, but technically it did not bluff charge me, because bluff charge is an aggressive act and a warning to indicate that, hey, you need to get the heck out of here. It just ran up, it dashed up towards me. It was not aggressive in any sort of way. It just ran up to me. And I put my walking stick up and stuff. And then 2 minutes after that, after thinking I was going to die for 30 seconds, and then waiting for 30 seconds for something else to kill me, after 2 minutes and stuff, I circled back to the house. That was not aggressive. The one that was most aggressive to me is when I shot at a possum, because I missed it. It was 10 feet from me with my rifle scope. And it yelled at me. And I thought it was the neighbor. Yelling at me. He came down the wood line with his girlfriend, wife, bickering at him to stop it. Don't do nothing stupid to this human. He has a gun, blah, 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 blah. That was pretty, I would say, intense. He was yelling at me. I don't know if that was aggressive.
How close were you to the house?
Oh, they were bickering down the tree line, but they were probably 100 yards, no more than 100 yards, when they were right parallel from me. He walked, and then when they stared, bickering and stuff at each other, they stopped at 100 yards, right dead in line with me. And then they got quiet. They were creeping up next to me, and I stayed up for 15 minutes before I got wigged out and had to go back inside because I could hear them.
How close were you to your house? I'm saying.
Oh, less than 50 yards.
Oh, okay. So if you need to run, you could have. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no. Oh, I was 25 from the yards, and when I heard him stuff, I got like 20 feet from the door, the basement.
Yeah, but you thought it was your neighbor. Right?
At first, when I heard the yelling, it registered, why is the neighbor yelling at me? It was that second time I heard him. I was like, wait a minute, that's not English. That's not English. And then the third time, my jaw dropped, because I'm just like, I can't believe this is happening. I'm being yelled at by a man who emotionally I am registering as another human man. He's yelling at me. That's not English. It's gibberish. It's caveman talk. It's not nothing. And he was gonna come teach me a lesson. His girlfriend, his wife, his partner, she was talking sing-song language, is what I called it, because she was doing fluty tone noises and tones and samurai talk, but in that was kind of a sounds. Fluty sing-song talk is what I called. What she talked like was sing-song talk. They were bickering in samurai chatter, and then when they got, gosh, it was so funny, dude. I was standing there just shocked. I couldn't believe it. And then they stopped, and that's when I got freaked out. Yeah, I went inside and I grabbed some guns, and I slept with guns right next to me, and my girlfriend at the time, and I wasn't playing around, man. I was just like, holy crap!
And what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? Shake the house?
Yeah, man. I didn't know what the heck they're gonna do. It's not normal for a Sasquatch to just start up and scream at you and start yelling at you. Obviously, I was hunting coyotes. Obviously, no one has shot a gun off at nighttime to do that. And, you know, I would say 5 years. I mean, it's not. I mean, people shoot guns around there. It's but it's not like super redneck. But like, obviously, no one was hunting at night for a long time.
Yeah.
Disrupted his activity, his routine. He got mad. And it sounded like a guy. It sounded like another man. That's why I thought it was the neighbor. Why is the neighbor yelling at me? And of course, I realized it was coming from the woods in between two houses. He was in between four houses. He came to the wood line in between two, and then skirted around the two between us, me and him. When they came down the wood line, they crossed the road, and there's two houses right there. I would say 200 yards apart right there. They crossed another house right there on the road, and they were in between another house and me. They were within four houses right there. Any of those neighbors could have heard if they were standing outside. This could be anywhere in America. This is out in the country, but this is not in the boonies. This is not anywhere off the grid. This is very much everyday America. Rural America, just outside the city. I mean, I tell the people who live around there, I told them, they do not believe me at all. They live there all their life. Literally, well, one person has grown up there all their life and does not consider it at all. He has considered it now, but
is this near where you're at now, or is this somewhere else?
This is somewhere else and stuff, but yeah, I know what happened.
Are you able to go back? Are you able to go back to where it was, or is it somebody buy that property?
Yeah, see, this is the bad thing is researching on private property is what happens when you leave and stuff, and the people are still there, and the Sasquatches are still there. I think that the Sasquatches have always been there, just routine, they're watching people and nothing, but like potentially by them being more aware of the Sasquatches, could disrupt this routine and cause harassment and stuff. So you got to be careful about that. That's why I don't tell people where I research and stuff, because, for several reasons. And who cares if it's being selfish? I put a lot of work into the place. I don't want someone else bimbo coming in there and messing around and messing up. And the next time I go in there, guess what? They're mad at me. They're angry at me. They're going to take it out on me. Or they're going to take it out on other people around that place. Or people are going to get hurt because they go into a place that's way beyond their level. I don't want to tell people of location, hey, yeah, there's Bigfoot here. Go look at this place. And it's in a very crazy spot. And while certainly, most likely, nothing would ever happen. Certainly. Most likely probably should get struck by lightning more likely than to go missing. Like missing 411.
I'm saying
I cannot responsibly tell people some of these locations.
I'm just saying where you used to live. Are you able to go there? Are you like friends with the property owner now, or?
Yeah, I could have gone to this property anytime.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure. There's different. There's a bunch of properties I could go on there private. But when you're Bigfoot in certain areas, especially private property, say, I had this interaction and stuff, he got mad at me. Is it wise to continue to push the envelope when, say, the neighbors has kids?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Or you're potentially putting in danger everyone in all these houses that they don't believe in Bigfoot. They have zero clue that anything is going on out there. You know, you could potentially put all of their lives in risk, shatter their delusions and lives, make them freak out and move from their, their dream lifetime forever home, because now all of a sudden there's a monster that lives in their backyard and a shift in the world of paradigm. So there's a lot of responsibility when it comes to researching and stuff and private property. We had a report last year of a property, and several members went out. Some who are not a part of our group went out there, and this property owner, who was a witness, his family was being harassed. He has kids and stuff. The Bigfoots were, looking at window peeping in his kids' room, his daughter's rooms and stuff. And he was very adamant about, if we were going out there to look and research around the areas around his property, he didn't want us on the property and stuff, but around the property. He's very adamant that you don't make calls and stuff. You don't try to, piss things off and agitate them and stuff. So we set up a date to go out there, right? And respect the wishes of this witness who was being harassed and stuff. He is a victim. One of the members decided to go out there by himself without telling anyone before everyone else. I think because it was selfish reasons, being it was a very fresh report, hoping to get fresh evidence by himself. Went out there hooting and hollering, doing everything that the witness, this victim, said, please do not do. Please don't go out there and do this, because this thing is messing with my kids. It's looking in the windows, and, we're thinking about moving. He went out there, totally disregarded the witness wishes and did all this and stuff. Well, he wasn't a part of the team no more. But see, it's our responsibility you have to think about it like that. These people are living there 24/7. You go there and investigate. You go back home miles and miles away. You don't have to deal with that all the time. These people are stuck there. Now you just pissed off this thing. Now it's seen you talking with the homeowner, and now you're out there hooting and hollering, and the homeowner said, please don't do that. What do you think that Sasquatch is going to think? It's going to take it out on that homeowner, take it out on the people surrounding the areas and stuff. So especially when a witness says, please don't do that stuff, please, for my family's well-being and safety, we have a responsibility to adhere to those wishes, especially, and to probably protect people when we can, through spreading awareness, through information and knowledge that these things are not always friendly to us, that these things might kidnap your kids if I give an opportunity. They potentially might do things that just make no sense to us, and for whatever reason, you do something that insults them or agitates them. Just say you cut this old tree down that was a part of their life, or you're changing your landscape. You're building a fence on your land. Now all of a sudden that's disrupting they don't like it. They're going to harass you and do something about it. That happens a lot. So when researchers go out there and stuff, we should not try to ruffle the feathers of anything. We should be calm, respectful, and adhere to the wishes of the people suffering from the situation. Because a lot of regular Joe people, when they encounter Sasquatch, it's not friendly, it's not nice. They feel very scared, very life-shattering. They feel like a victim. They feel trapped. It's not like us, like, oh my God, it's a Bigfoot encounter. Awesome, I just seen a Bigfoot. It's the opposite. They want to move. They can't let their kids out. They're so scared about this monster. So that's why I don't tell people, yeah, this area has, look, this area would be good. This area, because it's irresponsible to tell people, especially with kids. Yeah, you can go in there, look for Bigfoot. And I think majority of the time nothing happens, but I know that sometimes things happen, that these creatures can be unpredictable, and they can do whatever they want to you if they want to. If they decide, you know what, I'm going to keep you, James. You look pretty. You look good for my little sister. I mean, what's going to change their mind once their mind's made up? You're coming with us. I can't consciously tell people that, hey, yeah, you know, people ask me all the time, hey, where are you research? Where are you research? If I tell them some of these places where missing people that went missing and stuff and say, hey, go look out there. Why would I go send people who, especially if I think that, you know, I don't think that they're very wilderness savvy. They don't look like they're physically adept to be able to survive if something happened. Why would I send them in a very hostile, intense wilderness place with Sasquatches where there's missing people happening all the time, every couple of years? Why would I send someone who I don't really think is skilled enough to be in the area? Why would I send them there and stuff, you know? So I consciously can't do it, and I won't do it. I'll tell people, yeah, we go investigate the Waterloo area, southeast Michigan. It's a very well-known spot, well-known Michigan hotspot. A lot of researchers talk about it. Michigan BFRO talks about it. You guys gonna want to go look for Sasquatch? You guys can look there. And not too far from there, a couple towns over, in the 1970s, there was a Sasquatch that attacked and killed a bunch of people because they went out looking for a baby that was crying at one night at a party. And the sheriff deputy found their bodies thrown up into a tree that was covered up.
Mm-hmm. Until he spoke out.
So, yeah, that's the Waterloo area. Might as well be. It's all pretty much the same. So, you know, even though people go to this awesome hotspot that I'll tell you, go ahead, go. Not too far away, 50 years ago, there was a traumatic situation that happened, and the Sasquatch just ripped people apart. There's other stories of our friend Alex encountering a group of Sasquatches hunting in a cornfield, and he's been traumatized for life and says that he can't believe that we go out there and do this. He thinks we're nuts, but he said that it looked at him as if he was nothing. That I mean, nothing. And he said the Sasquatches found him when he was hunting his deer and was harassing him during deer season because he took it as he interrupted their hunt, so they interrupted his hunt and harassed him and stuff during the hunt.
Who's Alex?
Alex, Ernie's friend. Ernie and Michelle's friend. He plays the guitar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's several encounters and stuff, you know. Seeing them with red eyes, red eyes, and he said that they looked just like pure evil. Like he said he peed himself and all this and stuff, freaked him out. So they're not always nice. They can be situations. I can be put in anyone can be put in a situation easily that when your kids are put in the middle, you don't have to make that choice. That choice is instinctively made. You will become an animal and defend your kids. They are no different. There are certain situations where these creatures will not be friendly, not nice. So no, I won't point out any other place for people to go besides Waterloo because there's already people that go there by the dozens, and it's well known. A lot of sightings. But me and you have had encounters there, wild, surrounded, stuff being thrown, hooting and hollering and stuff. If me and you did the wrong thing in that situation, we might not have walked out of there. They're pretty hyper. They're pretty hyper, man. You gotta, I don't know how many were around us, but I would say more than one. Because they were on both sides at some point. So
at least 4.
If you think in this excitement, an excited state, even in an exciteful, playful state, these things are incredibly more powerful than us. They can hurt us easily, even by playing, even by not trying to hurt us. A dog can get overexcited playing with a kid. Groups of dogs, especially. And they get riled up, and all of a sudden the kid's arm's missing because the dogs have got overexcited and stuff. That does happen. normal, friendly household dogs all of a sudden run away from the house and play with other dogs, and all of a sudden there's a group of dogs that attacks kids who never would ever have to ever done that. Now they attack the kid, and not only that, but they eat it. They eat upon the
Oh
kid.
my god.
Well, that was your favorite. That was Spike the dog. That was the friendly neighborhood golden retriever. So, and humans in excited state, we definitely know that humans, a group of humans in a very excited state, can be manipulated, can do all sorts of craziness, both good and bad. So, a group of Sasquatches or a group of whatever in a very excited, hyper state is not good at all, too. So, like I said, maybe as female Sasquatches fancy James and stuff. All of a sudden now James is missing. Wasn't really anything he did. Nothing wrong, nothing bad. Did everything right by the books. Maybe did a little something too right by the books. And again, you're put in a very bad situation where now we don't know what's going to happen to you, James.
Yeah, my call was too successful.
Your call was too successful. And you better fancy her, because I don't think she's going to let you escape otherwise.
Yeah. That's the problem if you ever do catch your good luck escaping. Like, you don't know where you're going to be in the forest.
They don't.
And
They don't.
No, I'm saying even if you did get the chance to run, you don't know where you'll be anyways, so it won't matter.
Very true.
Unless you're somehow still close to a road, but I doubt it.
Just depends where you're at. There's stories of Native American women escaping Sasquatches, and they're in different places. Sometimes they were in a cave. Sometimes one fascinating one that Val talks about here in Michigan is this Native woman who she said that they went to an underground world, a different type of world where the food there made her sick, the air was hard to breathe. The Sasquatches brought her back because she was too sick and stuff. From being down there, whatever alien type of environment was down there, the food was making her sick, the air and everything else. So she's described it as another type of world, not just a cave environment, but some other type of place. So whatever that may be, I don't know. It wasn't very descriptive, other than there was some type of vegetation, plant life there. They had food and stuff that was down there. I think it was all dark, I believe. I think she said it was all darkness and stuff. She was blind when she came out, I believe. But I had to talk to Val about it because it's been a little bit. I believe you can actually listen to that story. If not, you can listen to some other fascinating stories that Val talks about with some campfire stories that we had. And the title will be something Lost Cryptid Campfire Stories or something. And,
Yep.
There's a couple of videos and stuff. The ones with Val talking, he talks about some unique things. So I was only able to keep going on because the little boy passed out. So
Oh, it did.
It had you don't hear nothing, and I kept rolling. So he passed out on me.
Wow.
Yeah, so great Saturday night. Celebrating the 4th of July, America's freedoms and our independence. This is the best country in the world. As much as I rag on it myself, if you guys are friends with my Facebook, I post a lot of controversial stuff. I don't follow any political parties, nor do I vote for any leaders, because I don't vote for the lesser of two evils, and it's just a crap show. No matter who you vote for, it's a crap show. It doesn't matter. You might as well just look at it at a different lens. Okay, every 4 years, people hate this person, then you guys hate this person, then you guys hate this person, then you guys hate that person. Might as well just hate the same person who just keeps switching masks. I mean, it's pretty vouch, but it is. But there is no other country in this world that has the freedoms that allows us to go Sasquatch hunting and stuff.
Yeah.
There would be none of this without our freedoms and stuff. So, and the sacrifices made by the men and women who have fought to save those freedoms. So. We shouldn't take it for granted. We shouldn't take freedoms for granted. We shouldn't take our lifestyle for granted, because honestly, it could change at any time. So, freedom is a luxury that we have a responsibility to take care of. So, without getting too political and going down a tangent about that, freedom above all else, man. I will say this, I post a lot of controversial stuff. I rag on law enforcement a lot. A lot of people might even say I would be even a cop hater, but I'm not. I feel that they are in a very highly position that has a lot of responsibility to guard against freedom. Throughout history, law enforcement, the enforcement branch, they're always the ones that get their hands dirty. They're always the ones who are told to commit genocide, are told to commit these savage acts against their own people, and they historically usually do. Historically, they obey the orders. They throw people in train cars. They throw people in gas chambers. And their excuses are, I was just doing my job. I was just obeying orders. My commander said, my country said, my president said, my fellow brother said. So cops have a responsibility to not follow every order given. They have a responsibility to protect we the people and our freedoms above all else, above their paychecks, jobs, and any order given to them by the President of the United States himself. Historically, rulers will enact genocide. Say, yeah, throw, like Hitler did, kill all the Jews. But one man can order something to be done. It takes thousands of other men to implement it and to actually commit it to happen. So if no one listened to Hitler or anything like that, none of it would have happened. If no one would have believed him, if everyone was not have followed those orders, if everyone would have stood down in the name of freedom, in the name of human moral, the human spirit, the tragedies would not happen. But unfortunately, the mentality that comes with the role of the enforcements of cops, of any type of historical thing, is they have the culture of, they have to obey their leaders, and they have to obey and do what's right because they believe that the leaders are always right. Well, unfortunately, they will follow even when a Hitler is in office and tells them to round up these people. And of course they hate, they dehumanize people. They get you to hate your fellow man because of his skin color, because of his eye shape, because of his religion, because of his last name. And they get you to hate your fellow man so that you can enact this injustice upon them without feeling your soul. And so it's the cops' responsibility. It's all our responsibilities, but theirs especially to fight corruption within themselves and to not obey unlawful, unjust, unethical, unnatural orders given to them by our leaders. Because, it could happen anytime. You guys think this is not fragile. This is not. Our freedoms are very fragile. We could go to martial law, call the police, and everyone else will listen and do that, and up to the point of, all of a sudden, half the population doesn't want to listen, the other half wants to. What's going to happen? I mean, either the enforcement cops are going to listen and do what they're told and use force against everyone, or they won't. So, unfortunately, the responsibility of freedoms is to be forever vigilant against tyranny and authoritarianism. Unfortunately, history shows that this happens too often.
I think there needs to be different parties made, or just a whole new one in general. Just like get rid of the whole system. It's not good.
It's not perfect. That's better than a lot of things, but the two-party system seems pretty old and corrupted.
Well, technically, there's more than two parties, but the majority is just two parties.
Yeah. Well, conspiracy theory, they all Jeffrey Epstein client list not coming out. I wonder why. Probably because there's former presidents on it. Probably because because some of the client lists are in office right now. And Congress, government agencies, state, local, international. She got 20 years.
Yep.
That's a slap on
nobody
the wrist.
Talked about it. Yep. All the media silenced it too.
Yeah. It's because it's a big club and you ain't in it.
They can broadcast the whole Johnny Depp thing, but they can't broadcast the Maxwell.
It's a distraction.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying they can broadcast that, but they can't broadcast the other one. Like,
no, it's too violent, too traumatizing. If those people are real and doing what everyone thinks they're doing and what they admit to, the paintings on their walls, their own writings that they tell you what this means, what this is supposed to mean. It's very dark and evil, sinister plan. The Georgia Guidestones literally says population of 500,000 people will survive. Everyone else will be erased. It's written in seven different languages.
When was that?
Just type in the Georgia Guidestones. It's the plan that the elites have written on these stones in 7 different languages of what they want. Exterminate the population besides like 500,000 people and start over and have a world dictatorship, basically. Whether or not you believe in the Bible or not, these people, by their own actions, by their own writings, by their own sayings, seems like they are following Revelation point by point. These people claim that they don't believe in Jesus, don't believe in God, but they certainly are doing very religious things that are highly suspicious. If they don't believe in God or Jesus, then why would they believe in their evil overlord and stuff? But they do. Honestly, these people tell you, okay, Hillary Clinton, she gives thanks to a role model, blah blah blah, who written a lot of books, he dedicates himself to the devil. You have a lot of people who talk about how Aleister Crowley was an awesome philosopher who, in his own writing, said he worshipped the devil. He did horrific things to kids. Who then our Department of Education person who developed the sexual education for kids, he developed it from Aleister Crowley's teachings and findings and murals and tests, and he did experimentation on kids funded by our government.
That's not good.
Point blank. The story goes that he went to one of the old places where Alistair lived, and there was horrific paintings on the wall of what Alistair did to kids. Horrific paintings. He took all of them, studied everything, all the writings and stuff, and experimented on kids. Those people are evil. Anyone who says that they dedicate them, they tribute, they look up to any of those people are evil. They're not good. I can't, they literally will tell you to your face and laugh and smile about it and then go talk to you about something completely else. And that if you bring it up and like, wait a minute, what is, but this means this, and he dedicated it to that. Are you okay? Do you need medicine? Are you mentally ill? That doesn't mean that. How could you jump to that? Blah, blah, blah. But they know certain well that, yeah, that's what they meant. That's what they look. They'll look at you and they'll smile at you, wink at you as they look at you as dumb, if they're dumbfounded. The Vatican, yeah. We only know that as the, the Vatican has probably killed more Christians during the Inquisitions than pagans killed us. I mean, like, the Catholic Church killed and slaughtered more Christians and tried to kill witchcraft and all that. The Spanish Inquisition especially was horrific. And if you were a Christian but you weren't Catholic, they went after you. If you were Jewish or any other religion, they went after you. They tortured and did a lot of bad things. There's a lot of different stories, of course, of them attacking kids. Of course, a lot of evil things. You guys can literally look up modern pictures of them behind this statue, and it's depicted of Jesus, but it looks so demonic and hellish and just evil looking that I just, no one in their right mind could ever look at that and think that, yeah, that's Jesus. We're getting to the deep end now, big old deep end now. They have the sacred magical pine cone that is shown in a lot of different ancient cultures, dark cultures. They have the ancient fish head priest hat that is from ancient Babylonia, the fish-headed god, the fish head priest, these fish heads. They do a lot of ancient Babylonian rituals, Sumerian garb-looking stuff. The Catholics. I'm not trying to rag on the religion of people and stuff like that, but as a whole, there's a lot of weird oddities that the Vatican has and stuff. Vatican says that Vatican has tombs of lost ancient books and stuff that they are never ever going to let anyone see. Lost knowledge, lost whatever. Supposedly they have lost ancient artifacts too. Unfortunately, when you deep dive into a lot of this stuff, it comes back to the simple fact. Jesus says it pretty simply. He gets tested in the desert and he gets tempted by the devil. And the devil says, "I will give you all the kingdoms of the world, both past and present," right? Which indicates that the devil is the ruler of this world. It can give you anything your heart desires, right? Including all the kingdoms and stuff. So a lot of this people who want to be rich, famous and stuff, they have to do all these despicable acts against God and nature itself, right? The skinwalker thing. They have to do the same skinwalker rituals, but instead of having the magical power to transform into a wolf, they themselves in their own words tell you this, that's how they have to become famous. They tell you that a lot of these celebrities say that they are haunted by spirits and they have nightmares all the time. You can watch Nicki Minaj say that she has an alternate personality, an alter, who possesses her. His name is Little Romeo. He takes over her body. In her own words, he takes over her on stage, and he performs through her on stage. She does not control him. In her own words in an interview, she doesn't ever know what's going to happen when he comes out on stage, and is rowdy and does all sorts of stuff, gets her in trouble. This is a star, her saying herself that she's being possessed by some entity and is not in control of her body. Okay. This is not me saying it. This is not some people saying, oh, look on TV what she's doing. This is what she says in her own interview. Lady Gaga is horrifically haunted with nightmares. She said this. She said in several interviews that she's sold herself. She said in several interviews that she's haunted. She has nightmares. All you have to look up is celebrity all-seeing eye image. You will find hundreds of images of celebrities going shh or covering their left eye. You will find hundreds of pictures of celebrities doing this, as if that's the number one trendy pose to do. Yeah, Johnny Depp, we're gonna do a photograph with you, and we want you to cover up this eye. Yeah, just something poked you in your eye, and just cover it up. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna take a photograph of that. Is that some trendy position of photographs that we all don't know about? Because why are all the celebrities doing it? Why are all the celebrities why do all the celebrities get a bruised eye? Why do a lot of celebrities have misfortunes happen to their best friends or their kids or their parents or their dogs? And then somehow, wow, they have a new album that come out. It's doing really good. These people talk about it themselves, being a part of the cabal, being part of this mystic orders and stuff. To keep their stardom, they have to sacrifice them, family and themselves and stuff. And you'll find that a lot of celebrities, especially before or during, have a very traumatic, very odd circumstances and odd deaths that happen around them. These people tell you to themselves. They will tell you to your face. And if you're too stupid to notice it, too stupid to hear it, and too stupid to understand, then you deserve everything that they're going to do to you because you're too stupid anyways. That's what they think. That's what they tell you. So you can look for it yourself. They write books about it. They dedicate these books to their heroes, who those heroes are satanic cult worshippers. I don't know. It doesn't get much simpler than just reading what they say, telling you what they say. So. But this is a game that's as old as time. These are cultural programmers. They have been able to influence and culturally program humans for a very long time. We're pretty easy animals, pretty normalized, easily controlled animals, especially in massive herds and stuff. For the community. It's best for the community. With this, the public opinion can be swayed, both good and bad. This is what these people tell you, and they tell you that they sacrifice the kids, they drink their blood. It's for spiritual purposes. It's not just for physical purposes. It's the spiritual entities behind it that are possessing, that need this spiritual magic that comes from this pure blood. They tell you about themselves. That's why Kim Kardashian needs a blood facial to keep young, because they bathe in the blood of the innocents, which you hear about all these stories of ancient times of all these ritualistic killings, and now what do they show? Kim Kardashian gets blood of a young teenager put on her face because it rejuvenates her skin. Why? Because they've shown that, and they get blood transfusions of younger kids. Why? Because it shows you can take the blood of a younger mouse, inject it into an older mouse, and that older mouse will show signs of youth. So now it's trendy. Now it's in the newspaper. Oh, Kim Kardashian gets a blood facial. You look it up. It's real. And then you look up the science behind it. And then you can look up the science of older people getting younger people's blood injected with them and the science behind all of that. Well, back in the day, when the rulers and all these people were doing that, and the people, they've lived in darkness, and they were bathed in the blood, and this was evil. Now it's Kim Kardashian getting a blood facial. With blood magic. But that's not real. Then you have Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly. We drink each other's bloods for ritualistic purposes and laugh about it. I'm sure you've seen it. It's pretty on the news.
I haven't, no.
But she says it. Oh yeah, we drink each other's blood for like ritualistic purposes. A big old smile on her face. That's normal. Those weird celebrities, man. They're odd. I don't know, man. Drinking each other's blood for ritualistic purposes. What ritual was that for exactly? What? I don't know. She didn't say. I don't know. Blood magic. Witchcraft. Hollywood satanic stuff. And you look into Machine Gun Kelly. Well, he's a freaking Fruit Loop. You can look at all the symbolism, signs and symbolisms. They show you it. They tell you it. She smiled and said it on TV. Oh yeah, we do it. Yeah. It's just for ritualistic purposes. I mean, I don't know how blatantly obvious and out in the face, slap in their face, they can make it for you. If you hear that and you think, oh yeah, they're a bunch of weirdos drinking each other's blood, who have millions of dollars. Well, what if they want some other blood? What if they read that, the blood of this person is better than this person? Well, they have all the money in the world, potentially all the power in the world, potentially do almost anything they want. Some of the celebrities kind of feel like they do. You definitely can go to other poor countries and buy whatever you want to buy easily. A lot of these celebrities do international child care, poor people and child care and orphanages and, like Oprah Winfrey and her school for kids. And then all of them who got kidnapped and missing and convenient. You can read all up on Oprah Winfrey herself. She's had a whole show for years and years to tell you about it. Tells you herself. The UN, right? The UN Peace Force, Task Force, go into countries. There's a lot of reports of them kidnapping kids, of doing horrific things. They're an international goon squad of international political entity that really has no governing power, but that it does have governing power because they do a lot of things. But it's a democracy of the governments, but it's above our governments, but it's not. Very weird entity, that one. There's a lot of reports of them doing horrific things and kidnapping kids. A lot of that. UN Task Force.
Adrenochrome.
Adrenochrome. Yes. And yeah, you can watch the interview. She says it. People think that it's, these people say it on camera because in a few years no one will remember about it. And then it becomes a conspiracy theory. And then you look like a freaking whack job talking about that. Yeah, they did say on camera they drink each other's blood. Then you just seem crazy. There's just no way. It's just so over the top. They're the ones who say it. They're the ones who point out. They're the ones who bring it up. Why in all these music videos, rap videos, Wow. How come they're always bathing in blood? They're getting a baptism in blood. Why do they always do that? Where all this black goo come from? All these celebrities, different music genres and stuff. How come they got black goo coming out of their eyes and out their orifices of their face? What does that mean?
I don't know.
What does that have to do with this video? What does that have to do with this song? I don't know. You look into it, it's demonic entities, demonic possession, evilness. It's the black goo. Literally evil, you know. They put it in their music videos, guys. It's signs and symbolism. You guys can my channel's not about all this, but you guys can find channels about it and deep dive all into it. A lot of people, will get a little political, but the Hillary Clinton emails came out that is, oh, it's so old, it doesn't matter, blah blah. Hey man, they were talking about kids, talking about terms and terminologies that traffickers use, known terminology that are flagged for this means this means this means this. Those terminologies, those sentences, and those takeout orders were in those emails. Okay, they talk about spirit cooking. You don't know what that is? Look it up. Okay, they talk about making sure that product is in that pool. They want those products in that pool. These are our political elites. These are the head of governments doing this. And how come Hillary Clinton's not allowed in Haiti anymore? She's not allowed in Haiti anymore because she's going to be charged with trafficking kids and money laundering and a bunch of stuff. That's why her and her foundation and stuff can never set foot in Haiti. They want to lock her up for life because they know she stole like millions of dollars that was supposed to build homes, but she also trafficked a lot of kids out of there. Our government did. She was just
the pawn,
the top head pieces. You can look into that. Bill Clinton gives a speech about how Hillary Clinton talks to Eleanor Roosevelt, who's been dead, long dead, decades and decades and decades. She speaks with her. And in that speech, he says that Eleanor told Hillary to tell Bill Clinton that Bill Clinton needs to mention that Hillary Clinton talks to the dead spirit of Eleanor. It's a speech. It's on camera. You can watch it.
That's weird.
That is weird. Why is he bringing it up? I don't know. Does it make any sense? I don't know. It just randomly, he just says it. How come Jeffrey Epstein had a half-naked picture of Bill Clinton? I don't know. That looks pretty weird, man. We do know that he did visit. You do know that we all know that. Trump probably did the same thing. He did on camera, on video. He is there with Jeffrey and the girlfriend at a party. Whether or not there's more than that, I don't know. But powerful people in powerful positions, like I said, they need to do certain things and certain, they blackmail you, They get you doing certain things and they get you and they blackmail you too. If you ain't going to be a part of it willingly, they're going to try to make you a part of it forcefully. And you hear about, you can hear this in the rappers. Rappers. I don't know any of their names because I really don't listen to that. I'm not into that stuff. But there are videos of some pretty famous rappers talking about, you got to do certain things if you want your, record to sell. You got to, kind of do a little stuff that you might not like, or and they says, or they, if you ain't paying attention and you ain't rolling your own stuff up or you ain't getting your own drink, that they drug you and then they do what they want with you and they film it and then they hold it above your head. Or they make you do They make you do other acts on men or animals or certain things and film it and then hold it above your head. These guys, hey, they're saying it, not me. He's saying, yeah. When they say, he said something like, when you gotta give up your something. He said that means your butt. He's like, that's what he said, man. And he's a pretty famous rapper, dude. They're doing an interview with some other pretty famous people. I have seen a video with. It's a very creepy narcissistic video where Lil Wayne is talking to this other rapper, inspiring rapper, and telling him, yeah, you can be all this, but I'm gonna do to you what this other rapper did to me, talking about sexual abuse and stuff. That is I can't find the video. I wish I could anymore. It's a very creepy video of them partying basically, and it's nothing but guys, and Lil Wayne is just, his eyes when he looks at this man, telling him all this weird cryptic riddle. It's all in like riddles, and like he's not saying this, but he is saying it. But there's no way. Like, it's very narcissistic. I am saying it to your face, but I'm not saying it to your face in a way. I don't know if people understand that. People who've never dealt with a narcissistic don't understand it. But if you've dealt with a narcissistic person who can compliment you and talk down to you and talk shit to you at the same exact time, to where you're left with feeling, did he just, you don't know what the fuck to think. Anyways, that video is nothing but that, and it's very creepy, and it's very wrong, and it's just very, very satanic. It's just what it is. So you guys can find these videos. You can find these live shows of these people who they look possessed. Their eyes are rolled in the back of their head. You can watch the video of the Astro World where Travis Scott is saying something, mumbling something weird, satanic, that as he's watching this person who's basically dead. And they kept going, and you guys can look at all the signs and symbolism of his albums, of that whole event that was going on and stuff. You're gonna look at signs and symbolism of that, and very similar to some satanic drawings and stuff. So these people are the ones who tell it. Whether or not God is real or blah blah blah, they seem to believe in this certain aspect of it and are doing things accordingly to that plan and to their viewpoints. So spiritual warfare is real. There are good, the forces of good, and there are the armies of darkness. As much as we do not like to accept that fact, that is, it is happening. It is spiritual and it is physical. So always pray to God. Always ask for forgiveness. Have a relationship with Him, because that's the only way you'll be saved.
So
and have the protection from these evil people.
So where is Oprah now?
I have no idea. She pops up a little here and a little there. But
she was running from the law.
Yeah, back in the 90s and stuff, when she was doing her TV show full time and stuff, she did talk about a lot of different stuff and would attack Christian beliefs and stuff, and would say, God of the Old Testament was very vengeful and jealous God and blah blah blah. And she would talk about the more like Luciferian 1,000 points of lights speech talk, which former President George W. Bush I talked about this. A new world order, 1,000 points of light. Those terms and terminology is satanic Luciferian terminology. That a president of the United States gave in a speech to the American public. Don't worry about that. You weren't supposed to hear it. It wasn't for you. A New World Order. You can watch the speech. George W. Bush, the New World Order speech. Pretty famous. Says it right down there. Yeah. So, our country is amazing. Our country is a Christian nation that was founded underneath God, and that is why we are attacked so much. So, spiritually, our freedoms can't stand our freedoms. You know, they want us to all be slaves, not free men and women. So that's why, you know, we have so much stuff that's going on in America, so much spiritual warfare. You know, sometimes it seems like there really is something going on in this world, and it's whether or not you believe in the Bible itself, these people believe in something. The forces of good, the forces of evil, that's a universal type of energy. Whatever you want to call it. There's always people that are good, there's always people who are bad, and there's some type of driving force behind it all, right? So that's why we celebrate the 4th of July, because we have the freedoms as Americans, as humans, to have the free will of choice. So that's why they want to take it away from us so much. So there you guys go for a little deep dive for another hour, conspiracy theory style. Anything else, James, you want to talk about? Any other questions? Let's get them out now, because I'm getting tired.
I'm tired.
I mean, I could keep going. I could really deep dive for another about this stuff.
I'm falling asleep.
I don't talk about this stuff. It's pretty heavy, hot, loaded stuff. I post a lot about. I post a lot about it on my Facebook and stuff. And you know, Plato, the ancient Greek philosopher. He talks, but he gave an amazing story. But he gave a quote. It says, "The masses will never believe the shadow of the lies told to them." This quote basically, you know, to me, resonates in the modern age. You know, it's like the Bible. You know, for those who have eyes to see will see, and ears to hear. Some people can see through the veil, some people can't. And the masses won't believe the lie, won't believe the truth, even if it's in their faces. Pretty much the same stuff's been happening ever since back in his day. It's the same now. Just different technology, different time. Same game, same rules, same tricks. So, you know, when you have events happening, horrific events that are happening in the news, sometimes those are programmed to steer our public opinion, to steer our spiritual selves, to steer us in a direction that they want us to go to. So, not to get all biblical and stuff, but through faith you have the protection, because like the Bible says, as these type of people draw the bow back to strike you, God's grace and stuff, the bow breaks, snaps, and injures themselves in the act. These people can't help it. They must try to attack us at every single turn, but sometimes they cannot win, and the bow will break and shatter and smash upon themselves and even cause death. So there's a lot of unseen forces at work and stuff. So never give up. Always, never give up. That's the biggest thing. Is a lot of people deal with stuff, have depression, have mental stresses that this modern world causes, and there's no outlet for it. And maybe instead of hurting yourself and doing something stupid, that you should just try to have a relationship with Jesus and God. Reach out to someone else, As much as everyone seems like they're alone, there's always a nice, willing person that if you reach out to them will take the time to hear you out and try to help you. That's what the human spirit is about, is taking care of and helping those who can't help themselves and can never help you or repay you back. That's what real human spirit is, and that's what real human intelligence is. They say that, aliens are intelligent, and so intelligent that they would come and wipe us all out because we're not intelligent enough, right? Well, they've studied and found that humans don't fit that agenda. Humans, instead of being smarter than everything else and slaughtering everything else, we actually will take care of animals and take care of things that could kill us and injure us, and weaker things and things that are dumb and stuff, that we have passion and compassion and empathy for these things. They say that that would be abnormal in the alien intelligent society and stuff, that they might not view and have the empathy that humans have for other unintelligent life forms and stuff. Humans are pretty unique. We're spiritual creatures, we're emotional creatures, and we have empathy, which is a very unique, highly intelligent aspect to the animal kingdom. So remember that humans are made to take care of each other and everything else on this planet responsibly. It's our responsibility to help those in need and those who can't take care of themselves, old people, young people. When you give birth to a child, you give birth to this helpless life that on its own would never be able to survive anything. Can't wipe its own ass, can't feed itself, can't get the boogers out of its face, can't do nothing. Can't do nothing without your help. And when you get old and frail and weak, and you even forget half the person you were, you forget all your life. It takes another human being to have that compassion, that human spirit, to take care of you, take care of your frail, aging body that's dying and stuff. It takes the compassion of another human being to help you and to make you live your life out. So that's why humans need humans and stuff, through life and death. Without other humans and stuff, we would suffer unneedingly and painfully too early. So empathy is one of probably the best qualities that humans have, and it's the only quality we have that makes us humble to our old people and humble to our young babies and stuff. So they hate that. Those people can't stand that, and they attack everyone, and they attack everything that's sacred to us: family, marriage, young ones, old people. So just remember to have a heart, have a smile. You should try to take care of your fellow man, even if they can't repay you. And do not turn your cheek to injustice and evil, because all it takes for evil to thrive is for good men and women to do nothing. Don't do nothing. All right, folks, that's about it. I'm done preaching for the night, so you guys can hopefully have a good night. Hopefully have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful celebration of the 4th of July, the independence of the United States, of our freedoms and liberties and our inalienable rights endowed by our creators. That even if our government is disbanded and stuff, we as humans have God-given rights that no human can take away. No government can take away, that we should have So take care of you guys out there. Everyone is everyone is their own person. Everyone struggles their own way, has their own demons to fight, and has their own angels that look after them. Sometimes everyone needs a little help from their fellow man, and men have a lot of power when helping other men and women. That's why we're spiritual forces. We're spiritual entities. This is flesh and blood, but we are spiritual entities. There's a lot of power in and behind this. There's a lot of power when we come together and good things happen. There's a lot of power in the human heart with emotions of love. So let's just try to spread that vibe and love everything. And even the Bible says to love your enemies and stuff. And I always find that very hard to do. But I might never, ever attain that goal. But, I should try more. So spread the love. Try to help one another. Try to forgive, especially your families. If you have troubles and your issues and stuff, you only have your family once and stuff. And every day, each of us are getting older. So let's try to bridge the gap and live the good life that God wants us to have in prosperity and try to obtain anything we set our minds to. All right, folks. I appreciate everything. I appreciate you, James. And, under the sky, man, we're all but one big family. So let's keep it like that way. All right, till next time, folks. Please enjoy the show. If you have not watched, please watch video uploaded today. Pretty interesting. It's me and my girlfriend going out. Some pretty weird interactions, encounters with some odd things. Check it out. Check out all these other videos. More videos to come. And more bigger things to come for the Lost Cryptids Conservatory. We're going to be diving into some other things, not cryptid related, but that is in the future announcements. But we're going to be doing a lot of things that I think spiritually I'm going to be drawn towards, which is other things too. So we're going to bring you along and, hopefully we can do some good in this world too. So we appreciate everyone. And hope you enjoyed this show and a little bit of the preaching that you guys got. All right, James, I'll see you next time, and I appreciate everything, man.